stage. The lower half serve as their launch platform. American astronauts went to the moon in...
It took place July 16, 1969, with Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Now, while you're waiting, now's the time to take some photographs before the lights do go out. We have no control over the lighting system. It is all part of the automated program. So in just about 2 minutes, the program will recycle itself to the next group that's due in.
Carl, it's your last walk down.
Now, those are not taking photographs. You will please walk up the stairs into the second room. Follow the railings all the way over as far as you can to the other side. Do not stop on the stairway or the platform to take photographs. This blocks the people from moving into the second room. If you want to take any photographs...
Makes it one of the largest enclosed areas in the world. The American flag and bicentennial emblem were painted on the building's side in 1976. The VAB is not open to the public because Space Shuttle solid rocket boosters and other hazardous fuels are stored inside.
Some of you folks wondering just how big that building is. The American flag on the side of that building is about the size of a football field. It took some 600 gallons of paint to paint that flag and bicentennial emblem.
Also to your right, just visible through the facility, there are 2 identical processing bays inside this 96-foot tall structure. Previous flight are removed here, and new ones for an upcoming mission are installed. Some payloads, however, are put in the orbiter when it is on the launch pad. After the orbiter has completed its checkout in the orbiter processing facility, it is essentially ready to...
Called the OPF. Number 1 is the Columbia. Columbia, the oldest of the 3 orbiters, and number 2 presently is the Atlantis. The Discovery has been put in reserve for the time being, and it's in another OPF just behind.
Pounds to the launch pad. The transporter is about half the size of a football field and weighs 6 million pounds. There are 8 moving tracks with 57 cleats on each. Each cleat weighs 1 ton. Propulsion is provided by 2 large diesel engines per hour unloaded. A hydraulic jacking system can vary the height of the deck at either or both ends of the vehicle as much as 6 feet, allowing the transporter's load to be kept level as it moves up the 5-degree incline to the launch pad. The shuttle's 3 main engines.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, she just described the large openings that go all the way through the mobile launch platform. See where the sunlight's coming through. The reason this is there to allow the thrust-in engine exhaust to go all the way through down into the 42-foot deep flame trench. Now, if there were no holes there, as the engines ignite, the thrust and power came down, it would ricochet off the flat surface, then back up into the shuttle itself. Now, the shuttle has 30,000 heat tiles attached to it. Its engine's thrust would knock some of these tiles off, which would be a problem later on the re-entry process.
Launch Control Center. This is considered the nerve center of the entire Launch Complex 39. Behind the black vertical louvers at the top of the building are the firing rooms, where launch preparation is monitored and controlled by a network of computers. Government and contractor personnel inside represent all facets of the space shuttle and its payloads during the final checkout and launch.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Launch Control Center directly to the right, she just described. This is where the man takes his pointer finger, pushes the button that launches the space shuttle. You can see where the crawler has drove over to crawler, which all began right here. Now, in between the press site and ourselves, you can see a mock-up of a space shuttle orbiter's nose. Includes the flight deck and mid-deck where the astronauts are. It's used by the Space Center Fire Department for rescue practice. This way, if they ever have to get the astronauts out of the shuttle, they'll be familiar with the layout. Now, the reason that they have a practice model is if you take a couple of firemen and all their firefighting gear.
The Voyager planetary missions began. The tall structure on the horizon to the front left of the bus is Launch Pad A, used for most of the space shuttle launches. We will drive closer to the pad later in the tour. The size of a DC-9.
Gobi, Smith, Resnick, Onizuka, McNair, McCullough, and Jarvis. We've had 4 successful flights from Launch Pad B since that morning. We're now building up our 5th one, the Space Shuttle Columbia, scheduled to launch the end of July.
Directly ahead of the bus is the Space Shuttle Launch Pad B. Notice the incline to the surface of the pad. This represents a 5% incline, which is negotiated by the huge crawler transporter as it makes its way toward the surface, carrying the space shuttle. The pad's surface is 42 feet above the bottom of the flame trench. The service towers on the pad provide access to the shuttle and have connections for fuel, electric power, and communications.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we turn this left turn up ahead here, be a good time to take some photographs of
7 feet above the surface. A tower adjacent to the pad contains 300,000 gallons of water used during launches for cooling and sound suppression.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the crawler transporter starts up the incline to the launch pad, this far side closest to us, its hydraulic system will elevate to keep the platform level and the shuttle standing straight up and down. Then drives up to the center of the launch pad, which is on this side of the tower, and sets it down on the 6th post. You see the posts up there, they have black
by the launch pad. Looks like your assembly building. Yeah, I believe they told us this was the Apollo launch pad. But this is the ocean right by the spaceport.
The ocean right from the space. No, really? Get my thing.
6, he's supposed to tell you that. No camera restrictions. So I can't bring a camera. I can bring 106 people out here with 10 cameras each, but I can't have one.
Complex A is liquid oxygen used as an oxidizer. The one in front of us is liquid hydrogen. You can see how far they keep them tanks from each other. Together they are exotic fuel, highly explosive. That's the fuel that is used by the orbiter. Also the fuel that's in the external fuel tank. That is not the fuel used, obviously, by the solid rocket boosters.
The Challenger left.
They contain their own fuel, solid fuel. Now, the tape is going to tell you about them tanks, but we're going to be past them. I just wanted to call your attention to them, how far they keep away from each other. Now you can see the flame trench here at pad A. You can see it real good.
Ahead, on your right, in the center of the launch pad A, is a flame trench. The floor and wall surfaces are lined with fire brick, which can withstand temperatures up to 3,000 degrees. Also located in the flame trench is a steel flame deflector, which distributes the heat and flame away from the pad. The small mounds inside the fenced area with white stanchion are used to mount cameras, motion picture, still, and television that are used to record the pre-launch and launch activities of the space shuttle. These cameras are remotely controlled since no one is permitted in this vicinity around launch time. All personnel are moved back to the area of the VAB during actual liftoff. The two large round tanks inside the fence contain liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, the fuel and oxidizer loaded into the external tank for use by the main engines of the orbiter. Since the launch pad is a storage area for these and other exotic
Launch last week. Last Wednesday, to be exact, 9 o'clock. Also, coming up on your left side of the bus now, in front of the bus, you can see the scoreboard. All 16 of the Apollo missions that were launched, these are the manned missions now, that were launched from these two pads, including the Apollo Soyuz aboard the Saturn 1B. That's the mission where the American astronauts, look at the alligator off to the left here. And see that rotating service structure is open here. You can see that inverted cylinder right in the center of it. That structure completely surrounds the orbiter when it's on a pad. Even when they have a shuttle on a pad, you can't see the airplane or the orbiter. You can see, looking real close at it, you can even see the shapes of the delta wings in the bottom. And the main stabilizer. That's how they load the cargo bay. They have access to the cockpit. Through that structure, that structure rotates at 120 degrees. These are the camera mounts. There are 6 camera mounts around each one of these pads. You can see the little white stanchions at the top. That's where they mount the television cameras, motion picture cameras, and still cameras. All them cameras are automatically operated back by the VAB building. Again, I emphasize the fact there is nobody out here at launch time. As near as anybody gets, any personnel, is backed by the VAB building, about a little more than 3 miles away. Naturally, the astronauts are out here, and they have a service rescue unit in the bunker, in the back of the pad, down by those cables. I want to call your attention off to the left of the bus now. You can see those 2 buildings real clear from here. Those you can see a fenced-off area. That's where the astronauts' families, and the VIPs from Washington,
The press site is 3.5 miles from the launch pads. It is the closest point from which a shuttle launch can be viewed.
Now, we're going to be pulling in there for your last camera stop. I want to call your attention to it because it is no longer a camera stop at this time. But you can get a picture of it from this parking area over here. External fuel tank, right here. This is also when they used to bring the Saturn V in. He also used to bring it in here aboard the barge. Used to come in by sections right here. Little reminder in this area when you get off the bus.
Yeah, this is a Saturn V rock, the largest of its kind. Okay, this is a countdown thing that you see on TV when they blast off.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And they one of the cameras down there that are controlled from up here. Right, well, the control thing, yeah, we'll go.
Now, the only thing came back is the nose cone.
Can't go in there anymore.
Even minus that rocket on the front of it. Ladies and gentlemen, this rocket is real. Even the engines on it are real. They have been testified. Now, this was normally a camera stop. However, at the present time, EG&G is doing a little cosmetic surgery on their rocket. Many of you remember the real Apollo mission doing a Saturn V that lifted off from there. Had an American flag on the side of it. That one does not. I understand EG&G is going to put one on it. Some people remember that. But that rocket is real. It was a backup rocket in the Apollo mission. However, you hear some controversy about that. People from Texas say, well, we have one of them down at Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. There's important personnel that are now in trailers in this area. The little one-story concrete building there is a cafeteria, an occupational health, a credit union, and a PX. Last year they had a fire out there in that field. You can see the scars on some of them trees out there.
This is at Tallulah, Georgia.
I have the keys. They can't start the car without me.
Jeremy comes through. Hey, Grandma. There's all kinds of money.
I don't know when we get there. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the Great Smoky Mountains. We're just north of Tallulah, Georgia. We're headed into North Carolina.
And this is the worst day of my life. Ran away to the falls. Bears do cause trouble.
Yeah, this is in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Yeah.
And you might just see bears. You'll never.
Yeah, we're going up into the clouds, aren't we?
Are we coming up on cloud 9?
I don't know. It's not one shit like 9 to me. Well, they got speed limit 35 and you're going uphill. It's kind of hard to beat the speed limit. We're only going 25. 40 kilometers. 30. Can we get out this yet? Yeah, Grandma, I'm getting outside. Grandma, we'll be outside. Yeah.
No, you get all soaked out there.
Drive it back on the road now.
Nowhere in this great smoke mountains. Isn't that pretty?
Stop. Ugly. I don't want that. I want to know. Up. You go. No, stop. You go off with it.
Hey. Lisa.
I want to go to Starcade. It's got video games and skee-ball, and I got some change yet I could use. Huh, Lisa?
This is Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Kind of cute little town.
Show them haunted house up there on the corner. Where? Up there on the corner, see? There's some haunted house. Right there in the corner. I think, sweet God.
Look at that bus, isn't that cute?
Oop, there's a car on my way. Oop, there it is. There it goes. Let's grab the sword now. Like it? Funny, ain't it? Well, you got going. What?
I'd watch. Tennessee.
These are the mountains north of Knoxville, Tennessee.
An album, singing and dancing sensations, the New Kids on the Block. Also, the group that helped define the sound of Motown with 14 gold records, Grammy Award winners, The Temptations. We'll travel down Main Street, USA for the colorful and inspiring Walt Disney World All-America Parade. Then the night comes alive with the fantastic characters of the world-famous Main Street Electrical Parade. America's favorite holiday personality, Willard Scott, will be your parade host, joined by reigning Miss America, Gretchen Carlson. The Mickey Mouse Club Mouseketeers invade Typhoon Lagoon for their own special 4th of July celebration. From Disneyland in California, Family Ties' Mark Price takes us for the